Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica, another episode of On a Technicality, and today what we're going to be talking about is how do I find arcade PCBs? Where do I buy them from? How do I source them? How am I finding these things? This is a viewer request, a lot of people wanted to know about it, so I'm definitely going to make it for you, because stuff like these 3DO M2 boards are rare and hard to find, as is all my Hyper Neo Geo stuff. Before we get too far involved, if you can do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link down there as well. But everything from arcade boards to rare Japanese exclusive consoles and their games can be quite difficult to find. And I've had a lot of questions on how do I find arcade PCBs and how do I buy them. So I do it in a couple ways and I'm going to break those down. The first is I import a lot of things from Japan because generally, especially if it's a Japanese exclusive arcade PCB, 90% of them are going to be in Japan, and for that you need to use a proxy service. I use From Japan, and I will link it down below, but I will tell you this is not a sponsored video. I just find them to be the best service that I have found after trying a bunch. So if I just type in something simple like arcade PCB, we're just going to get a random assortment of different results. And basically this isn't going to be the way you want to do it, but just showing you how it functions. If you see something you're interested in, like this Sega Ring Edge, you just click on it and you're going to see that it says it's listed as junk. Now, junk in Japanese means something different than it does in America. Junk products don't necessarily not work. They may be broken, or they might not just be cosmetically nice enough for somebody to consider them to be good. But you'll see you can place a real-time bid, or you can do a sniper bid, and down here you can select whatever language you want to translate the description from. And this says it was removed from a working product. That means that this is probably actually functioning. And I could bid on this with the Yahoo Auctions Japan from this site. All you need to do is sign up and enter, payment information like anything, and you're bidding like you're on eBay. But a lot of times getting the kanji for something is the most important thing. Just using a game that I was playing recently, The Lost Golem for Dreamcast, if I find the kanji and I enter it into the search bar, I'm going to get results. If I type in The Lost Golem, I'm not going to get anything. So being able to find out where you get kanji from is going to be super important, because this game is not available right now on eBay, and there's one copy up on From Japan. And the nice thing about this site is it lets you shop Yahoo Auctions Japan, Rakuten, and a lot of other options that are available to you. It's kind of a catch-all, but getting that kanji is going to be super important. And you'll see here, I have ordered a lot of stuff from Japan. Everything has come perfectly fine. They do an excellent job packaging it. I can't recommend them highly enough. Now, they do charge a proxy fee, and that's usually between $5 to $10 American dollars, and they're definitely adding something to shipping, but for me, it's worth it because usually it's cheaper than buying it in the US. But if I go over to Yahoo Auctions Japan, which is basically eBay for Japan, eBay never really took off there like Yahoo did, and I type in the kanji for the Lost Golem, I won't find it, and that's just because I'm looking at Yahoo Auction Japan results. That's why I use the proxy to search as well. But looking at something different, a rare PCB, Battle Trist, most of the time Japanese games will have the kanji in Wikipedia, so it's going to be an excellent source for you to find out what you need to type into the search bar, because again, if I just type Battle Trist, I'm going to get nothing. And you'll see there's one result, it's the arcade marquee. If I didn't actually own this already, I would be buying this immediately, but you can't bid on Yahoo Auctions Japan if you're not Japanese. So what we do is we copy the URL from that auction and we just pop it into the categories bar from Japan, press the magnifying glass, and it's going to pull that auction up for us. Now we can bid with our proxy like we are a Japanese citizen. And how it works is they just receive the product for you in a warehouse, and they'll either ship it out, or you can have multiple things held and they'll combine orders. And it's really nice to combine orders, especially for small items. You're going to save a lot of money. But now over here at Museum of the Game, the killer list of video games, it's an arcade database. And if you type a game in something like Evil Knight, it won't let you copy the kanji. It's actually a photo, but you can use internet converters to figure out how to type those in. Or if we're looking for something like The Punisher, you want a Japanese copy for the CPS, you have the kanji there. You do need to translate it into keystrokes, but they're really good resources. Now, Tops Japan is my #1 favorite place to buy arcade PCBs from, and I'm not going to lie, they're usually the most expensive, but everything on this site has been tested. It is guaranteed to work, their shipping is amazing, but again, you can't buy if you're not a Japanese citizen. But we can use our proxy again. Now, this is Jinji Storm. I don't recommend you buy it. It's terrible, and I've talked about it on the channel recently. But if I just take that link to the product and put it back in that search bar and hit the magnifying glass, from Japan will then send an inquiry into Tops, and they will buy it on your behalf. They will have it sent to their warehouses, and then they will forward it to you. And you can use this for pretty much any mainline Japanese online shopping. All you do is type in the item name to make sure that you're getting the right thing. Then you're going to push request a price quote. I'm not going to because I don't actually want to buy Jinju Storm. It's a terrible game, but this allows you to buy from Japanese arcade PCB vendors that have websites. I highly recommend Tops. I've gotten multiple PCBs from them, things that I haven't shown on the channel, and they're absolutely outstanding. And everything's broken down by the developer. So taking a look at Konami games here, if you use an automatic Google Translate tab, I always have Japanese translated to English. I'm always seeing what is available, and I may pick something up now and then. I check this site weekly, and maybe I only buy stuff once in a while. But if you want a copy of Tobey Polystars for the 3DO-M2, it's for sale right now for about 78,000 yen, which is about 800 and change US dollars. But if you're buying things that are expensive, pick EMS shipping. It's cheaper than FedEx, DHL, and UPS. It is extremely fast. Items go from Tokyo to Chicago in under 2 days, and then Chicago mail is terrible. It takes forever, but EMS is the cheapest and best version. Don't go SAL shipping. That's sea, air, land. That will take months. But moving over to eBay, this is a good option if you want to find things domestically, and you just need to check the listings. They're not going to have as much as Japanese vendors, but we're taking a look at an NBA Jam board here. It says tested working, and there's photos of it running. You always want to look for people that are selling arcade boards with photos of it functioning in the description itself. If I don't see a photo of a board working and they say it's listed as working, I don't believe it, because they'll say as is, no returns. So for me personally, if it's an expensive board and it says working and they won't show photos of the actual board functioning, I do not believe them. I'm not saying that's true, it's just how I work. But you'll see here there's a Frogger PCB that is marked as untested. Untested means you have no idea what's going to happen when you plug it in. Maybe it works perfect. Maybe they weren't able to test it. Maybe they know it's broken and they're selling it as untested. That way they don't have to accept a return. I can't tell you what that reality is. But what I will say is you want to look for sellers that have really good feedback. Now, taking a look at something really popular like The Simpsons Arcade PCB by Konami, an excellent beat 'em up, there's photos of the board, there's photos of the game running. The seller has 100% positive feedback with almost a little over 1,000 sales. If I want this board, I'm going to trust that it's going to function. And it may say some things like tested as is working, no returns. If someone has 1,000 units of feedback and they're 100% positive, God forbid something happens, I highly believe they're going to take care of you. Now, I can't guarantee that for your own purchases, but this is how I kind of suss out whether or not I feel comfortable buying something on eBay. I want photos of it working, and if there's no photos of it working and they say it functions, I'm not going to buy it. Now over here at arcadeprojects.com, a lot of these are European sellers. It seems like a lot of Euro-based collectors sell on here, but it's a great place to get loose boards. I'm just going to open up the first 3 tabs and see what we got. And this guy, Darksoft, he makes the multis for a lot of boards. You could certainly buy from him and not worry about it whatsoever. He's probably one of the most trustworthy names in arcade collecting and modification. But you see, we have a ring edge here, and it's just, you have your photos, it says it's working, and it says the price. And you're going to see so many different things come up here. It's going to be old 80s stuff, recent Taito X2, X3 stuff, pretty much anything, but it's a great resource. Over at KLOV, Killer List of Video Games, their arcade forum, it's going to tend to be some older items. They do have newer stuff, but you're going to see a lot of Pac-Mans and things like that, and you'll be able to buy whole cabinets if you want to. And this isn't a tutorial on how to buy a cabinet, because shipping those is a massive pain, and it's usually a one-off instance. But you'll see photos, you'll see what you're getting into if you want to buy something. And then if you just go to the one-off parts, you're going to see that you have different PCBs. We have a CPS3 cart with an Ultra BIOS on it, but then we have older stuff like PlayChoice 10 cartridges. That's going to be the Nintendo Entertainment System arcade board, but you can buy carts to pop into that if that's what you're looking for. I go back and forth with these 2 sites to see what's going on. But I will say with the proxies, almost all of my 3DO-M2 stuff came from Japan, and from Japan packages things immaculately. All of these boxes that have come in that I've received have been packaged within an inch of their life, and everything's always worked. But that's how I find arcade PCBs, a mix of Yahoo Auction Japan, a Japanese Proxy, eBay, and forums. And I just love browsing around. It's always so much fun. I don't always buy something, but when I see something I've been looking for, I snap it up. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm happy to help you guys figure this out more. Short of that, if you could do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe. Definitely helps me out. We'll have a video on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, but that's how I find my PCBs. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.